Hey there everybody, Brian here from Fitzpatricks. In this video I want to show you around this car here. This is a 2019 1-litre VTEC turbo and this is a Honda Civic and what's called a Smart Plus model. In this video I want to show you around this car. So we actually sold this car brand new. It's got a full Honda service history all the way through, and actually we've done a really good preparation job in the car. So it's been serviced, 4 tyres, front and rear brake pads and discs as well. So it's getting a really big service. So that's always kind of good peace of mind. And when you're looking at cars, it's important to see what work's been done on them. So anyway, in the video, we're going to look around the features on the outside and the inside of the car, go for a quick drive in the car as well. And hopefully by the end of the video, you'll know more about this model. And if you're thinking about buying one of these cars, then you'll know more about this one here if you think it's of interest. Anyway, stuff I like on these cars. Well, here's the thing actually, on these cars, right? At the front, the 1.5 version, these always came with a little kind of splitter on the front, and I always liked it, and we didn't have it on the 1 litre. So on this particular car here, we have a Honda Performance HPF style front splitter. It just makes it look a little bit more lower to the ground and aggressive than a normal Civic. So that will be something that you won't see on the other ones. And the second thing I did as well is we took the chrome off the window. And because there was so much black and blue all around together with the wheels and the grills and all that kind of stuff, I think the chrome's out of place on these 1 litre ones. So I think when you take it off, it's much more aggressive looking overall. And then the only colours you see on the car really is black and blue. Brilliant Sport Blue has always been a super popular colour, and it was on the previous model of Civic as well, and people always liked it. It's very, very nice looking. At the front, a few things that you need to know about. So front fog lights, obviously, because it's a Smart Plus model. And then the headlights down through here. There's a nice big daytime running light in through here. There is an automatic light in there. We'll see that when we get inside. Full light in here, so different lights for the fulls and heads, which give excellent light. The nose at the front, like we're saying, is all black. The splitter is black. There's the black grills along through here, and that then kind of complements around to the dark coloured wheel that's on the car, a 17-inch kind of diamond cut wheel. So what I mean by that is it's kind of shiny and reflective, especially under artificial light or when it's sunny. Another cool thing on these actually, I don't know why, but I just really like the side marker that's on the front of the car. So what I mean by that is, if you look on this case, the front left, just over here, there's a little side marker. When you're driving behind them or beside them at night time, it makes the car look really wide. It's just cool looking. And actually, if you drive up behind one of these at night time, the taillights are just very distinct compared to other cars that you see on the road. They really stand out because they're a nice kind of LED style in through here. So they're very, very cool when you drive behind them. Smart Plus, again keeping on the black and blue theme, it's got a black spoiler which matches those lights on the rear, and it's got a blue roof spoiler, and what that does is drags air down and out of the rear of the car in the most aerodynamic way possible. This is a 1 litre VTEC turbo engine, which is a car that'll have about 127 horsepower, so there's really good power actually for a 1 litre turbo, really good. And the other, especially if you come out of the older model, which is 1.4 non-turbo, this thing will just blow it away. And fuel efficiency is decent as well. Normal people in around the region of kind of 40-45, which is about 6.5 litres or so per 100 kilometres, so they're reasonably easy to run in terms of fuel. And they're just a cool looking shape. They're like nothing else on the market out there. If you want a car that's kind of, you know, really well spec'd and a nice car, but something that's a bit different to all the other cars on the road, this is definitely something that's worth considering. On the front of that car then, parking sensors are going to be standard, so they'll obviously warn you if you're getting too close to something. And the rear of the car as well has parking sensors, and there's a reverse camera we'll see when we get inside also. Staying on the theme of spec, the key does some funky stuff as well, so I can actually turn on the lights using the key, and I can drop the windows if I want, and I can also basically retract the wing mirrors and also the windows as well, again using the key too. And the boot on these cars is super practical. We actually ourselves at home are on our 4th one of these Honda Civics. The boot's really excellent. What we found was when you want to put a buggy in the back and still have space, the boot is really good. I would describe the boot as really excellent condition on this car. And then down underneath, if you want, you can have more storage, or if you want, you can put a spare wheel in through there as well. And that's pretty handy when you put loads of stuff in the boot of the car. It kind of gives that flexibility, so it's got an awful lot of space in the back. And when you drop down the rear seats, then you get this massive load area in the back. And the great thing is you don't have to take out that parcel shelf, it just retracts. So it's not like you're leaving it at home in the garage. So there's really good flexibility. It's a really practical car in the back. Another kind of neat feature on the back then, that is a quick fill cap. So open up that, slot straight in. There is no cap. And obviously that locks when the doors are locked. In terms of the rear, there is 3 head restraints, 3 3-point safety belts, Isofix on either side, so 2 Isofix points, and it is quite easy to get a child seat in and out because I use them at home the whole time. And then there's an armrest with some drinks holders. The condition on the back of the car is really nice, so the previous people that owned the car usually used the front seats more and they didn't have kids in the back, so The condition is quite nice. There is a tweeter up here, and then there's a speaker down low, so you have two kind of speakers in every door, so there's a good stereo system, and then some nice bits of brushed aluminium on the door handles all along the door as well. A child lock over here, and an electric for a window back here on both sides. And for anyone that's curious about size, if I'm 6 foot, this is how I sit in the back of a Civic. So the headroom's okay, and then the legroom is decent then as well in terms of the back, so it's quite comfortable for an adult passenger in the back. And this is all black. You see the way this it's really sporty inside. I love a black roof top. In terms of the front of the car then, the door card setup is like what we saw, except for obviously you have electrics for windows and mirrors and all that stuff. There is aluminium pedals, which are quite sporty, and then the seat has the same kind of material. There's these anti-whiplash head restraints. You can bring them forward to stop your head going far backwards if someone rear ends you, and they're quite comfortable. Height adjustable seat obviously, and then lumbar support for your lower back down there, and the steering wheel then is obviously rake reach, which means it goes in and out and up and down as well. So, I mean, so far, I think it's fair to say the car is a really damn good looking car. And as you'll see now when we look around inside, there's a really excellent level of specification as well. And when we go for a drive, you'll see the engine is quite punchy and responsive as well. Looking around the inside of the car, over here, we can switch on or off parking sensors. There is a warning if you drift out of your lane across a white line, it vibrates the wheel and warns you. However, there's a second one, which is up here, so I can actually set that. And then I can say watch the white lines on either side of the road, and what that'll actually do is actively manage the steering and keep it left and right to keep you dead center. So this one warns you over here, this one actively manages the steering. There's also cruise control, which is pretty common on cars. However, this one's adaptive, so what you can do is set it to follow the car in front, as in how far do I want to stay behind the car in front. Very useful. The wipers over here are completely automated, so they come on when it rains. The lights are automatic, so they come on at night time, and they dip when you meet traffic, and they go full by themselves. And this is a trip computer for things like average speed, fuel efficiency, how much fuel is left. Up here is telling you what the current speed zone that you're in is. And what you can also do is you can have a speed limiter over here, which basically you can set it to actually respect the current speed zone you're in. So when you find the speed zone, it'll actively slow the car down to keep you within that speed limit. Controls for Bluetooth and radio and all that kind of stuff over here. There's a USB connector down here. There's HDMI if you want to play video up there. There is another USB connector here. There is an armrest here. There is also a drinks holder in through there. There is storage here. There's heating controls, which is dual zone, so different temperatures on each side of the car with a touch swipe screen. And we also talked about a reverse camera with the front and rear parking sensors. This will do things like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto for Google Maps, but the car actually comes with Garmin navigation as well anyway, and you can customize the screen depending what your preferences are too. And it's a safe car. Side impact protection beams, side airbags, curtain airbags up high, front airbags, all the safety features we talked about there, plus collision mitigation, even things under 30 kilometers an hour. If you don't hit the brakes and the car detects you haven't touched the brake pedal, it'll try and stop you. Driving these kind of cars, like we're saying, this is a real punchy engine with 127 horsepower, and there's a really nice tone off it when you drive it up through the gears. In terms of how the car feels on the road, the Civic is quite a big car. It's quite wide, feels wide when you're actually driving it. And in terms of how the cabin is laid out, it's nice. Things are straightforward. There's a big screen in the centre that works everything. There's a lovely gear change. Steering wheel feels nice. And I suppose for me, maybe I'm just getting used to them, but everything makes sense the way it's laid out on the car. But like we're saying to you, in terms of the engine, really good response. Up through the gears, because sometimes people worry about 1 litre turbos. Is there enough power? Yes, there absolutely is. And like you're saying, Hondas, they always make a car with a really nice gearbox. And because the car feels wide on the road, then it gives you that real sure-footed feel. Gives you great confidence when you're driving on a back road. If you want to push on a bit, you'll always be confident. So I think it's fair to say this is a cool looking car. It's a really high spec car. It's a really safe car. It's practical. There's a lot of sales pitches, and I like this one as well, just because it has that little splitter and it doesn't have the chrome on the windows, so it looks a little bit different than some of the other ones out there, and it's a really nice colour too. Anyway, if you'd like more information on this car, Brian is my name, 086 843 1945, if you want to know about trading in your car, or about the car, or how finance works, or scrappage, or anything like that. And if you're watching on YouTube and you want to know something more about these types of cars, just give me a shout and I'll be happy to do my best in the comment section to answer any questions you have. Anyway, hopefully the video has been useful, and thanks a million for watching.